Well, hello, this is Key, your host again. So, time for new clip with mentality business development. And that is about leadership, about how to think to become successful. And there's a lot of things for the markets and entrepreneurship that I've gathered for around 20 years. So, let's get started. Well, today we're going to talk about branding. Branding is important, it has several dimensions. So let's get started. Branding is a broad area, and this video focuses on the overarching piece of structuring the strategy of your brand. How you charge a brand and load it with different values, and how you use material and immaterial personal resources to strengthen the brand externally and internally, so-called brand carriers, is part of how you build the brand. And today I'm not going to get into that area. Branding is horizontal and has to intervene right through all areas of your business. Steering the brand values is essential and very much a main power function in your market strategy. So today we will look at how you can structure an already existing brand. To the left, you see my model Cake and Edge. I use this model for different types of profiling and positioning, personal or for companies, and it's a great tool in positioning brands. The edge is that attracts a target group or a target audience, and also that places the brand in a specific position on the market in related to the outfits around it, depending on what values the edge also exposes. The edge needs to differ you from the competition, of course, and attract your target audience. Market analysis, up on the right there. We have talked about how to view a market. We talked about that actually in the video Strategy and Attitude Part 2, I think it was, but you need to go through Part 1 too, Strategy and Attitude, where you analyze the actors you can see and also what affects them behind their backs, and identifying the drivers of the market that can cause a new scenario in a place not expected. Keep track on this to know how to position your brand in such an environment. This is very important. The competitive edge needs to stand out, and you also need to watch out for substitutes. There could be a growing market with products that are built to do something else but can replace the functions of your product. Or there could be a future possibility of this happening, and then investing in your brand will not be that motivated. So you have to match it towards target audience, competition, what you can deliver, and you have to watch out for all the other things going on in the market like substitutes and events. Turning the page to company strategy and brand management. This is what you see here is just a simple example of a structure. CI stands for corporate image, and that is the soul of the company and how your business wants to be looked at. For instance, as an example, many years ago, Volvo cars had a very strong image of being safe cars. So when people thought of the company Volvo, they thought of a reliable company that was safe and trustworthy. And the company kept on pushing keywords like safety in their edge. Brands are built to take the company to its goals. And brands are also a steering part of the strategy. While the cake is the delivery that happens after you have been attracted to the edge itself is integrated in several parts. If you are a smaller business, you might have one brand, and in that case, you go straight from the main brand down to the target. Target here represents the group or the audience of receivers or buyers. A larger corporation often has a main brand with a main charge and a value that should be investable. This is the main edge for attraction. This main brand could be sender of several sub-brands. And if you are, as an example, a clothing company, for instance, you can have a sub-brand for athletic clothes and another sub-brand for maternity clothes and so on. Under sub-brands in this picture here, to the left, you see target audience pitches. Because each sub-brand needs to have a pitch, an edge, directed exactly to that target group or target audience. Here I have listed 3 sub-brands, and on the first one I have drawn up the rest of the structure. So we can look at that one as an example there to the left. The sub-brand always carries the recognition of the main brand and the corporate image, the CI. How it is done can vary. Right here we have a subcharge added to the main brand to create an edge and investable value. If you look still down there to the left, each sub-brand can also have different targets, different buyers that needs a pitch that makes sense to them. And out from that, the operative marketing is planned and executed. It channels out in A, B, and C at the bottom there in this picture. And that represent different forms or places where the target audience naturally is. I want it to be clear that there's a big difference between strategy or market strategy and operative marketing. You can strategize your marketing, but it will always be the operative part of the whole strategy and structure. In the previous picture, you could see target groups, target audiences marked A and B. So here's an example of how you can structure each group in a simple way. And of course, each group can have several more groups under them. So if you look at A up there to the left, it says customer investors. So that's the group. This is a group of investors that this company is targeting. So you need to build a pitch focusing on demand of this group, which could be 2, return on investment, ROI, and 3, you have to add a strategy on how to develop a long-term relationship with this group. So the edge has to cater to both competition so that you can stand out and position yourself in the market where you need and want to be. The message has to attract the group, and the delivery, of course, has to be what you can stand for. B, the group on the right, is directed to certain companies, the target audience companies. It's just generally now speaking. It is the same way of thinking as the other example, except for the offer that will be, as you can see under 2 there, demand driven from this target group, depending on what business we're talking about. I also want to add here to talk about frequencies. I talk a lot about it in several of my other videos. I think you should check them out actually, and how important it is to be in tune with the energy and vibration of the one or the group you want to reach, because we are all energy, and energy exists and climates exist everywhere. If you have the insight to read the vibration of your target market, you will be extremely successful, because you will use expressions and behaviors that align yourself with the goals of your buyers. And this has to do with interpreting their energy and their mentality, which is in that. There is so much more to say on the subject of branding. And as you know, I'm a lover of strategy. Today was just an introduction to branding that I hope resonated well with you. Did you like it? Well, there's more at www.keysyourhost.com. And of course, there will be more clips around here at YouTube and Vimeo. So, nice to see you again. And until next time, take care and goodbye.